And I believe they will have help from this demonic realm. And there are human beings that are expediting this process. And I think one of those ways might be through the CERN project.
Do you think that a lot of people who become a part of these high-level elite organizations, if you will, even when they're in it, understand if it is like, you know, demonic rituals, they even understand they're a part of that versus like, oh, this is just a club and I'm special because I got here because I'm talented at something?
I think it's a boiling frog scenario. They get in the water, and the people that are around them to bring them into that world or to groom them slowly show them and turn them. By the way, this is who you've been working for the whole. And by the way, if you go public, this is going to happen.
Right, like the Masons you were saying. Yeah.
And again, I'm not even alienating them in that aspect. Okay, I can't sit here and say all Masons are evil, but I think there may be branches of them that are. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
There's corruption in every society, every group, every political party, every religion. I'm not going to sit here and say Islam's perfect. And it's being like, no, the concept of Islam, what the Prophet told us, how we're supposed to practice our faith, how we're supposed to have compassion and mercy for other human beings, yes. But the people that speak for the faith, these governments that, I won't say their names because I'll probably never be able to visit. I've never been to them, but I would like to go perform my pilgrimage one day. It's an obligation that I have. Like Malcolm X went back and changed his life. That was a man full of hatred. When he came back, he said, no, I think all Americans can coexist. Before that, he said, anyone that was white is a devil. He goes to Mecca. He sees white and black together eating. He says, actually, no, we're all brothers and sisters. They blow his fucking brains out. They blew his brains out. Okay?
Yeah, that's...
Because, you know, it is what it is. But what I'm trying to say is the summary of everything we spoke about. If you believe in the story of creation, if you believe in God, then you know the demonic realm's real. The demonic realm was here before us.
And the demonic realm, you think, is this alien thing?
There's a big part of them that their only objective is to destroy us. I believe there's human beings that cooperate with that dimension. There is an agenda to convince humanity they were created by aliens and not by God. And you can agree on that if you're a Christian and a Muslim, because we both can agree on that. And none of us have the knowledge and wisdom of God. I think there's technology that has figured out or discovered living creatures in another dimension. They definitely know something. Would you agree that they know something that the masses don't know?
The elite groups? Yeah, they know
UFOs,
some things.
UAPs, all this stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Do you think there's not more to this?
I think there's more to it.
Do you think it's aliens 100%?
I don't know.
Do you think I'm crazy with this theory?
No. I think you're basing it on
Abrahamic faiths.
And on some of your religious beliefs, which I don't necessarily have to agree with, but I'm open to hearing what you have to say. I'm very, very ambivalent on all this stuff, because when I say I don't know what I don't know, let's expand that and get that to we don't know fucking shit. Right? We see some screenshots of someone who claimed they saw an orb on Twitter. Right? The best we can get is like a well put together James Fox documentary. And I love James, good friend. He does a really good job. But like, it's scratching the surface of the iceberg, if that. Right? And
with all these cameras, no real good footage.
But here's
HD.
So here's an argument I have for that. If you were, let's play this hypothetical game. If you were an extremely advanced civilization with technology that you and I could not even
comprehend,
fathom, tens of thousands of years ahead,
light years ahead of us.
Let's not even say that this is a simulation here of their making. I don't want to go there. I just want to say they're an advanced civilization. If they are so advanced and effectively have the ability to be invisible, have the ability to simulate things ahead of time, you know, on
forecast or whatever.
Exactly, with a perfect with perfect accuracy. Let's say that these sightings that James reports on since World War II, I would, you know, he's my friend. I'm biased, but like I think James is the greatest historian post-World War II of any alleged alien sightings there is. The guy's unbelievable. But like, let's say that these sightings that happened all over the world, from Australia to Russia to China to Africa to the U.S. to South America, let's say that these different patterns that all these different people from different walks of life saw that were very similar, you know, short, gray man, whatever, with the same kind of colored eyes and, you know, some ability of telepathy, slimy touch to them, the whole bit. The UFOs they describe in a similar way with some of the similar symbology. And again, this is pre-internet in many cases, so they couldn't like chat message each other and find out, oh, I'm going to say this, you say that. Like, let's say all that happened as those people reported it. My argument has always been perhaps that is simulated ahead of time by said advanced civilization to say like, oh, this time we're going to let these people see us, because no one's going to believe them anyway. right? We just want to see how that'll affect things. And let me tie this into something with just fucking with the human race. So there is a legend, and I'm gonna call it that because I actually don't believe this happened. I think it's a legend. I lean towards this didn't happen. However, when Jimmy Carter was in office, Jimmy Carter was a very religious guy, right? Cared a lot about the church and, you know, believed in Jesus, the whole bit. There is a story that he was read in on intelligence by whatever insert agency here came in on the UFO stuff. And when the agents left the room, Jimmy Carter was weeping. And he was weeping because essentially what they had just told us is that there are aliens, they are an advanced civilization. Not only have they been here, they are here, and they're the ones who created all these different religions as an experiment to see what would happen with us humans. And when I see something like that, and then I take that idea and I airlift that into, you know, they're cited every once in a while by select groups of people around the world, and there's a similar pattern so that you can tie it together and say, ooh, do we have something here? I'm thinking they're in control of that. They let that happen. Perhaps they're flying right here, right now. Perhaps, I'm not saying they are. And we can't see them because this is one of the quintillion trillion times where they're not showing their face, right? So maybe it is like they're just fucking with us. I don't know though, because I can't think like that. And the only other angle that you'd have to inject into this as a possibility is that it could be time traveling future humans, right? Like you've seen the movie Interstellar. Right? So Matthew McConaughey leaves the planet. He comes back technically like 85 years later, but his life is only past, I forget, let's call it a year. I don't even think it was a year, but let's say a year in his time passed by while he was gone. So he comes back. His daughter, who was fucking 13 when he left, is now 95
Dying on her deathbed.
on her deathbed. Matthew McConaughey, by my definition of the word, and I think the actual definition of the word, is an alien. He is coming from a different time in a different place to a world that he did not leave. Now, you could extrapolate that and say, oh, well, then are the astronauts aliens when they go up in space for a year and come back? I understand that. But if there's generational shift and a completely technologically changed world when you come back, you are effectively walking among things that you don't understand and can't comprehend. Or if you're a future human in our example, you can come back and know everything and think that this is all primitive shit, like people playing with sticks and stones.
It's like us playing regular Nintendo right now. I don't want to play that shit. It's boring.
Even way worse.
I'm going to play Call of Duty.
But sure. Yeah, so do you open yourself up to the possibility that something like that could exist? You don't.
I think 100% there are other creations of God in different dimensions. I don't think that, you know, this is all by accident. I think that we are towards the end of time for humanity, in my opinion.
The end of time.
Well, that's a whole nother episode. I would love to do one day. Talk about the differences of the end of times and the different faiths. Very fascinating stuff. Unfortunately, it's something I always spend a lot of time on, that even my teachers would get mad at me. Like, why do you always pay attention to the end times, the end times, the end times? Like, you shouldn't be focused on that. Something in my heart always told me that I should. And, you know, it's not looking too good out there.
You think so? Do you think because of nuclear war, AI?
I think because that the family unit, in my opinion, is the molecule of society. And when you split that, it's like when you split an atom. You can make an atomic weapon with that, right?
Right, but there have been plenty of times in history where the family unit came apart and an empire fell, but the world went on.
That's correct. But this time we all have the same disease.
What's that?
This culture that's spread all over the world. This only me, only I matter, fuck 'em and get some money. This is spreading throughout the entire world at the same time.